Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my first book haul of the year, and I have about 20 or so books that I'm going to be talking about with you guys today. A lot of these books I've been getting since sometime in December all the way up until now. So they've come from various places. I have received some from Book of the Month. I've received some books from some friends. I was able to buy some after selling some back to my used bookstore, and then I just went out and bought some books just because I wanted to. So we will go ahead and get started. So just like I always start off in my book hauls, I'm going to start with my Book of the Month picks, and I only have 1 month to go over, and that is going to be the month of January. So first up we have Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor, and this is going to be a crime thriller / family saga, and this starts off with the murder of 5 people, and then we follow this family. This takes place in India, and then I think we apparently follow the perspective of 3 people. I believe it's the servant, a journalist, and then I think maybe the heir of the family. I was not aware of this book before I was able to make my picks for January, but based off of the few reviews that I have seen floating around, it seems like people have been enjoying this one. This sounds like something that I would enjoy, so I can't wait till I get a chance to read this. Next up, we have a adult mystery, and this is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. And this follows these girls who, when they were younger, one of them was stabbed 17 times in the woods, and based off of the girl's testimony, they were able to put that man behind bars, and he was also charged with the murder of 6 other women, but apparently whatever those girls testified to, they lied, and we are, I gather, going to figure out what actually happened in the woods the day that girl got stabbed. So I can't wait to get to this one. So these next 3 books that I have here are books that I have received from a couple of my friends who were nice enough to get these for me off of my Amazon wish list. The first one that I have here is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. And this is a adult fantasy. It is the first book in the Celestial Kingdom duology. And I have heard nothing but good things about this. Just from the little blurb that I read to you off the back, it says it is about a young woman's quest to free her mother from the pits against the most powerful and mortal in the realm. The second book in the duology came out at the end, towards the end of last year, I think, maybe more of the middle of last year. Whenever it came out, I know a lot of people enjoyed that one as well, so I cannot wait to get to this one. My friend Alicia actually bought this for me, and I think we said we were going to try and buddy read this, so whenever we have free time, we're going to try and get to this one as soon as possible. And she also bought me some tabs for my books. This was also on my wish list, so thank you so much, Alicia, for these. The next 2 books that I have came from my friend Ryan, and he had bought me Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is also a really popular adult fantasy that has been circulating around everywhere. And so this one is, it says it's a novel of high fantasy with low stakes. So this one is following this creature that's called an orc. Her name is Viv, and she is trying to start fresh, trying to start over in her life, and she is trying to open up a coffee shop. And I think we just follow her as she endures the struggles of opening up that coffee shop. That's all that I got from what people have, when people have described this. So I will see what I think of this. This does not seem like something that I would normally go for, but because so many people have like raved about this book, and it's people who I follow and people who have similar tastes to mine, it just seems like maybe something it just seemed like something I wanted to try, and who knows, maybe I will enjoy it. So this next book that my friend Ryan bought, I only put it on my wish list as a joke because he has been trying to get me to read this series for a long time, and I kind of don't want to. And I said that I would only read it if somebody bought it for me. And so I didn't think that I didn't think that anybody would actually get me the book, and I don't really expect people to buy anything off my wish list. So when it came in the mail, I was actually surprised. And the book that I am referring to is Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson, and it is the first book in the Malazan series. And this is an adult fantasy. And I say that I was not interested in this is because, one, I can never really figure out what this book is about. It just seems like it's hard for people to explain what it's about. Like, the world is massive. I keep hearing that when you start this book, you're just dropped into the world and nothing is really explained to you. And it's kind of a harder book to not read, but like, and I don't want to say it's not hard to get into, but it takes a lot to read, and it takes a lot. You have to be committed when you're reading this. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm not sure I want that in my life right now. But now that I have it, and ever since I have received it, he keeps asking me when I'm going to read it. So it looks like I'm going to be picking up this soon. But I have heard from Erin from over at Booked and Busy. She just finished this and she seemed to have really enjoyed it. So that gives me hope. So Ryan, thank you for buying me this. So the next 3 books that I have here are books that I bought because they were on my most anticipated reads list for this year. The first one being Lost in the Moment and Found by Shawnee McGuire. It's an adult fantasy. It is the 8th book in the Wayward Children series. And this one follows our main character. Her name is Antoinette, and she is looking for her lost father. From what I hear from some reviews, this is a really heavy book, deals with some really heavy themes. So I'm excited to get into this, but I'm also prepared for these heavy themes that I keep hearing about. I have a library hold for the audiobook on this one because ever since I listened to the last few books in the series, I really have liked the audiobook narrations. So I really would prefer to listen to this on audiobook. So as soon as my audiobook hold is free and ready, I will be listening to this one. So then the next one that I have here is The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. And this one follows a woman by the name of Gita, who has lost her husband, like literally lost him. She does not know where he is located, but people seem to think that she has actually killed her husband. So she just goes along with it and lets people think that that's exactly what she did. And so people start to come to her for advice on how they can dispose of their spouses as well. And so this actually, I think, helps her business. She sells jewelry, but because of her reputation of disposing of her husband, people are afraid to not buy her jewelry. So it kind of helps her business. I can't really tell like where the story is going to take off, but I'm really intrigued by just that itself, and I kind of want to know exactly where this woman's husband is, because how do you just lose your whole husband? Like, where'd he go? So I can't wait to get to this one. And then the other one that I had bought from my most anticipated reads list is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I've been waiting for this book since last year because that's when it was originally supposed to come out, but I have it in my hands now. And this is a adult horror, and this is about this brother and sister whose parents have died, and now they are trying to get their parents' house ready for sale. But apparently the house does not want to be sold, and some strange things are starting to take place at this house. I cannot wait to get to this one. Me and my friend Alicia are planning on buddy reading this one. Probably by the time this video goes up, we would have already started this one. So I cannot wait to jump into this. So the next 2 books that I have, I bought because I wanted to participate in Gabby over at Gabby Reads' book club, the book troop. And if you have never heard of her book, or if you have never participated in her book club, she usually reads mystery thrillers. And so I wanted to participate in January and February's book club picks. And so for January, she had picked Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier, and I already have a bookmark in here because I plan on starting it tonight. And so this one follows this amusement park. I think it's actually called Wonderland. Yes, it's called Wonderland, and some mysterious disappearances, and I think someone had already died at this amusement park, and we have a deputy that is trying to investigate what is going on at this amusement park. So I can't wait to jump into this one. And then their February pick is Nana by Brandon Massey, and I think this is like a mystery maybe more horror, but this one follows this woman by the name of Monica, and she was looking for her biological mother, and she believes that she found her and allows this woman to come and move into her house with her husband. And so once the woman comes to move with them, the woman begins to take care of the family, and Monica ends up becoming sick, and this woman starts to take care of her. But as Monica has gotten sick, she starts to look older, but this woman who is supposed to be her biological mother, she starts to look younger, and the husband starts to realize that something's not quite right. So this sounds really interesting, and I definitely can't wait to pick this one up in the month of February. But I will definitely have Gabby's channel linked, and I will try and find her announcement video for her picks for the first 3 months of the year if you guys are interested. These next couple of books I bought because I had sold back quite a few books to my used bookstore, and so I got a credit, and I just went ahead and picked up some books while I was there. So the first one is another Jennifer Hillier book, and it's Jar of Hearts, so another adult mystery. I've heard a lot of people say some things about this book, so I wanted to pick this one up when I saw this, and I think it has something to do with this girl that may have been involved somehow with a serial killer back when they were in high school. I think I could be so wrong about that, but I wanted to pick this one up just because I think this is one of Jennifer Hillier's more popular books, and I have read one other Jennifer Hillier book, which was Things We Do in the Dark, which I did enjoy that one. So, and then like I just said, I was going to read Wonderland, which I am intrigued by that one. So this one seemed interesting, so I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. So then the next one that I picked up is The Hawthorne School by Sylvie Perry. And this is a adult psychological suspense book. And I had my eye on this one for a while. And I'm happy that I saw it at my used bookstore because it was cheap. And I'm all for saving money. And so I wanted to pick this one up because the blurb on here says, "This is for fans of Riley Sager. The Hawthorne School is a twisty psychological suspense about the lengths one mother will go for her child, inspired by the present-day obsession with cults and true crime." I like cults and I like true crime, but this is about this mother who has to send her child to this special school because he has some sort of behavioral problems. And after going there for a little while, he comes home and starts talking about they have to go out in the woods and they are doing ceremonies out in the woods and they have to follow all of these odd rules. I'm sold right there. I need to know what's going on in these woods and what type of ceremonies are y'all doing. I'm here for it. Then I found this one. It's called True Story by Kate Reed Petty, and I don't really know what to classify this. Maybe an adult mystery fiction novel. So this one follows this woman who's a writer, but for some reason she's unable to tell her own story from when she was in high school, and apparently she was like passed out in the backseat. And something happened with these two guys while she was in the car. Rumors started spreading. Allegations were made against these two guys, which they denied. No one knows the truth, and she can't remember what happened. So I guess we are trying to find out what happened so she can tell her story, so we can get the true story. I just thought that this sounded interesting. I really do think it's more of a mystery. Oh, I'm sorry. It says it's a psychological thriller. My bad. Yeah, it says it is a psychological thriller, part fever dream, and part timely comment on sexual assault, power, and the very nature of truth. Maybe if I would have just kept reading. That's what this is. So yeah, it sounded interesting, and we shall see. And then I have found this one called Friend Request by Laura Marshall. And this is about this woman who back in 1989, she was friends with this girl named Maria. and I guess they became like really good friends back in 1989. And then in 2016, she ends up getting a friend request on Facebook. Gotta love Facebook. But she ends up getting a friend request from her on there. And I guess that shouldn't be possible because something had happened to Maria. So she knows it can't be Maria. So it's probably someone impersonating her. So we have to find out who. So I'm going to assume this is probably like an adult mystery. But I'm pretty sure that there's like a movie or something that's also called Friend Request, but they might not be related. But this sounded really good, so I had to pick this one up. So then we're down to the last stack of books, and these are just random books that I picked up just because I wanted to. So this first one is called American Royalties, an adult romance, and we have this rapper by the name of Duchess, who was involved in sort of like a scandal over in the States. And so then we have this man by the name of Jameson. He is part of the royal family, and their family is like full of scandal. And so the royal family is trying to do something to kind of get back in the good graces of the public. And so they put on this like charity celebration week to honor Jameson's dead grandfather, and they are putting on this like concert. And so then the Duchess agrees to perform in this concert to try to get some good press around her name. And so when she goes over to London to perform in this concert, she ends up connecting with Jameson. A romance ensues. Story takes off from there. I am almost done with this. I'm at the tail end of this. I'm currently listening to this one on audio. I think the story is fine. I have some thoughts on this one, so I can't wait to talk about it because I have some thoughts on this one. But I mean, overall, it's fine. So the other one that I'm currently in the middle of, that is Spare by good old, I don't know why I had to look at it, but by Prince Henry. Or see, that's why I had to look at it, because I keep calling this man Prince Henry. I don't know who that is. Prince Harry. Who's Henry? Prince Harry. Oh my God. So I am in the middle of this. We know that a lot of people are not feeling this. I think it's fine. It's kind of boring. I'm only 90 pages in, so I haven't gotten to any, I guess, problematic stuff yet because nothing has really happened. I hate to say that someone's memoir is boring, but not much is happening right now. So that's all that I have to say. I did think it was kind of funny though that I was reading about this royal family, and then I was also reading about this royal family all at the same time, and the fictional royal family is way more interesting than this one. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And then I picked this up. It's Bad Fat Black Girl, Notes from a Trapped Feminist by, I'm going to say, Cecily Bowen. I hope I said that correctly. And to be honest, I'm not really sure what this is about, but I've heard really good things and people have told me that I should pick this up. So I did, and the cover is freaking gorgeous. But people have said that this is amazing. And in the front, it just says, "This one's for the bad bitches." Sold. So I've been wanting to read a lot of nonfiction. This is nonfiction. So looks like I have another nonfiction to add to my TBR. So then I have another book about cults. So that's what we're doing this year. So this is called The Vicious Circle by Catherine St. John. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this. So this one is about a cult that's taking place at a wellness center. That's all that I know. That's all that I need to know. Cult Wellness Center. I'm there. So we shall see what I think about this one. And then the last book that I have here is Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a adult fantasy by one of my, probably I would say, favorite fantasy authors. And this is book one of the Legends of the First Empire. So as soon as I get done with the Rhaeria Chronicles, I will be jumping into this one. I technically already had a mass market paperback copy of this, But because I just really have been enjoying every book that I have picked up from this author, I decided that I wanted a hardcover copy and I wanted to start purchasing all of his books from his site. From my understanding, I think that when you buy the books from the author's site, that they get all of the profit from the sales. I think, don't quote me on that. That's just what I think. So I wanted to do that. And when you buy directly from him, he signs all of his copies. So I just went ahead and bought this one. But this book or this series technically, in the timeline of events, takes place before the Rhaeria Chronicles and the Rhaeria Revelations, but technically he wrote it after the Rhaeria Chronicles. Yes. So, but I cannot wait to get to this. I only have 2 more books before I can. So, yes, that is all that I have for you guys. And if you have read any of these and have any thoughts on any of these, please let me know down in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.